In the sterile glow of a hospital room, where the beep of machines echoed like a relentless heartbeat, a renowned surgeon stood helpless beside his daughter's bed. For 12 years, little Emily had been confined to her wheelchair, her legs lifeless since birth due to a rare spinal condition that no scalpel or specialist could mend. Dr. Harlan Reed, the man who had saved countless lives with his steady hands, watched his own child's dreams slip away, dreams of running through meadows, dancing at parties, or simply standing tall. But on a rainy afternoon, when the hospital's unassuming cleaning lady's son wandered into that room and uttered 4 simple words, "Let me try," everything changed. This is the story of how hope bloomed from the most unexpected soil, a tale that reminds us miracles aren't always born in labs but in the quiet courage of ordinary hearts. Dr. Harlan Reed was a giant in the world of medicine. At 45, he headed the neurosurgery department at St. Mary's Hospital in Chicago, a place where the elite sought salvation from ailments that baffled others. His life was a symphony of precision, early mornings in the OR, late nights poring over research papers, and a home filled with awards that gleamed under crystal chandeliers. But beneath the facade of success lay a chasm of grief. His wife, Sarah, had passed away during Emily's complicated birth, leaving him to raise their daughter alone. Emily, with her bright blue eyes and infectious laugh, was his world. Yet, her congenital spinal bifida had rendered her lower body paralyzed. Harlan had consulted every expert, funded experimental therapies, and even traveled to Europe for cutting-edge stem cell trials. Nothing worked. "She's stable," the doctors would say, but stability felt like a cage to Emily, who at 12 years old dreamed of freedom beyond her wheelchair's confines. Across town, in a modest apartment block where the walls were thin and the rent was always late, lived Maria Gonzalez, the hospital's night shift cleaning lady. Maria had immigrated from Mexico 15 years ago, scraping by on minimum wage to support her son, Miguel. At 14, Miguel was a wiry boy with tousled black hair and eyes that sparkled with curiosity. School wasn't his forte, bullies teased him for his second-hand clothes and heavy accent, but his mind was a workshop of wonders. In their cramped living room, surrounded by scavenged parts from junkyards, Miguel tinkered endlessly. He built toy robots from soda cans, fixed neighbors' broken appliances for pocket money, and once even rigged a solar-powered fan for their sweltering summer nights. Maria worried about him. He skipped meals to save for tools, and his dreams of becoming an engineer seemed as distant as the stars. "Mijo, focus on school," she'd say, but Miguel's reply was always the same, "Mama, I learn by doing." Their worlds collided one fateful evening. Maria had been called in for an extra shift, and with no babysitter, she brought Miguel along. "Stay in the break room," she instructed, but curiosity led him astray. Wandering the quiet corridors, he peeked into Emily's room, drawn by the soft glow of her tablet screen where she was watching videos of kids playing soccer. Emily looked up, startled but not afraid. "Who are you?" she asked, her voice laced with the loneliness of someone who spent most days with nurses and tutors. "I'm Miguel. My mom's cleaning the floors." "What's that game?" He pointed to her screen, easing into the chair beside her without a hint of pity. For the first time in ages, Emily felt seen, not as a patient, but as a kid. They talked for hours, about her favorite books, fantasy adventures where heroes overcame impossible odds, his inventions, a makeshift drone that once flew into a tree, and the shared ache of missing a parent. Emily her mother, Miguel his father who had abandoned them years ago. Harlan, returning from surgery, found them laughing over a shared puzzle app. Irritated at first, he shooed Miguel away, but Emily's plea, "Dad, he's nice," lingered in his mind. Days turned into weeks, and Miguel became a fixture. Maria, sensing the budding friendship, allowed it, though she fretted about overstepping boundaries. "We're not like them, Mijo," she'd whisper. But Miguel saw Emily's wheelchair not as a barrier, but a puzzle. He noticed how her legs twitched faintly during excitement, a detail overlooked by charts and scans. One afternoon, as Emily confided her deepest wish, I just want to walk, even once." Miguel's eyes lit up. "Let me try," he said simply, his voice steady despite the enormity of the words. Harlan dismissed it at first. "Boy, the best minds in medicine have tried. What could you possibly do?" But Emily's eyes pleaded, and in a moment of desperation, Harlan relented. "Fine, but under supervision." Miguel's idea was born from scraps and ingenuity, a custom exoskeleton brace, pieced together from old bike parts, elastic bands, and motors salvaged from discarded toys. He sketched it feverishly on napkins, explaining to Emily how it could support her weight while stimulating her muscles with gentle vibrations, inspired by a YouTube video on physical therapy robots he'd adapted for low cost. The challenges mounted like storm clouds. First, the materials. Miguel scavenged junkyards at dawn, bartering with scrap dealers who laughed at his ambition. His hands blistered from welding, and sleep evaded him as he tested prototypes in secret. Emily faced her own battles, physical therapy sessions that left her exhausted, doubts creeping in like shadows. What if it doesn't work? What if I'm just broken? She'd cry to Miguel during their late-night talks via video call. Harlan, torn between hope and fear, clashed with Maria. "This is reckless. You're giving her false hope," he'd argue, his voice cracking with the weight of past failures. Maria, standing tall despite her weary frame, replied, "Senor, sometimes hope is all we have. My son sees possibilities where you see limits." Social divides deepened the rift. Whispers rippled through the hospital, the surgeon's daughter befriending the janitor's kid? Classmates teased Emily about her poor friend, while Miguel's peers called him a dreamer fool. One night, after a prototype failed spectacularly, snapping under test weight and bruising Miguel's arm, doubt nearly won. Harlan forbade further experiments, locking away the tools. Emily wheeled herself to her window, staring at the city lights, tears streaming as she whispered, "Why can't I just be normal?" Miguel, nursing his injury on a park bench, questioned his worth. "Who am I to think I can fix this?" But bonds forged in adversity are unbreakable. Maria confronted Harlan in the hospital cafeteria, her eyes fierce. "You save lives every day, doctor, but have you forgotten what it's like to fight for one with nothing but heart? My Miguel, he has that. Let him try, for her." Touched by her raw honesty, Harlan relented, even offering lab access. Together, they refined the design. Harlan provided medical insights on nerve stimulation, Miguel engineered the mechanics, and Emily tested iterations, her determination fueling them all. Weeks blurred into a montage of trials, failed circuits sparking frustration, small victories like Emily standing for seconds igniting joy. Their friendship deepened. Miguel shared stories of his father's betrayal, teaching Emily resilience, while she encouraged his schoolwork, reminding him dreams need foundations. The climax arrived on a crisp autumn morning in the hospital's rehab gym. A crowd gathered, nurses, doctors, even skeptical colleagues. Emily, strapped into the final brace, a sleek fusion of metal and hope, gripped the parallel bars. Miguel stood beside her, his hand on hers. "You got this," he whispered. Harlan held his breath as the device hummed to life. Step by agonizing step, Emily moved forward. Pain shot through her legs, memories of isolation fueling her push. The room fell silent, then erupted in cheers as she took her first unaided steps in years, wobbly, but real. Tears flowed freely. Harlan embraced his daughter, Maria hugged her son, and Emily turned to Miguel with a radiant smile. "You did it," she said. "We did," he corrected. In the months that followed, Emily's progress inspired therapies worldwide. The brace, patented under Miguel's name with Harlan's backing, helped countless children. Miguel earned a scholarship to engineering school, his inventions no longer confined to scraps. Harlan learned humility, founding a clinic for underprivileged families, where Maria became a coordinator. Emily and Miguel remained inseparable, their friendship a bridge across divides. This story isn't just about walking, it's about stepping beyond limits, embracing unlikely allies, and finding strength in vulnerability. In a world quick to judge by status or ability, remember, true miracles happen when hearts connect. If this tale touched you, hit that like button, it helps spread these inspiring stories. And subscribe to the channel for more heartwarming journeys that remind us of the power within us all. Who knows? Your next favorite story might change your life.